Hey guys, and welcome back to the Minecraft Animation Workshop. In this video, we're going to go over exactly how to use the Boxscape 2.0 character rig that you can download for free in the Assets folder of the Minecraft Animation Workshop. So if we just go ahead and go here under Assets, you can see Boxscape Studios has a bunch of assets here that you can download. They're all in one zip file, so you can go ahead and check out this. You can go to their website here if you want to see exactly what they're on about. They have some tutorials and some videos to help you out with it as well, but we also offer the download right here. So go ahead and hit the download button and it'll give you a zip file. Go ahead and save that anywhere you like, and then make sure you extract it by clicking on it or right clicking it, however you want to extract it. I use WinRAR extract to, don't buy it just yet, click OK. It's going to go ahead and extract it in that parent folder there, and I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and as you can see here we have Cycles Minecraft Rig BSS Edit VO, whatever that is. And then you have a bunch of different blend files here because this was made specifically for Blender. And it has a preview image here, which is the Boxscape rig render. So this is what you should be seeing here. There are finger options, there's facial shapes and everything like that, an amazing body control, and the ability to change skins. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at BSS Character Rig V2.0. And the reason for that is because this is the most recent rig and their most advanced rig. So I prefer this one. I would recommend 2.0, not 1.0, but it's entirely up to you if you want to try that one. There's also a Minecraft Simple rig if you want to try that, along with a bunch of block rigs, item rigs, mob rigs, etc., etc. But we're going to go ahead and open up Rig 2.0. And here we are. So this is the Character Rig 2.0 by Boxscape Studios. And it has a lot of different controls, so I want to kind of go over each one and kind of play around with it to see what we can do here. But the very basic controls are pretty simple. You have IK here, and if you ever want to know exactly what a bone does or is called, the bottom left hand corner will tell you the name of the bone itself, or something just as descriptive like root or wrist or something like that. So you know that this is the IK bone, which works great. You also have the wrist bone, which you can use to control the wrist rotation here. We also have the hip bottom, which means that it moves the bottom of the hip. We also have the torso, which moves the entire torso here. And we also have the chest, or the torso bottom here, I guess. There we go. And we also have the shoulders, which we can move the IK controls with as well, which is really nice. And of course the head. And that's most of the body controls right there. We have, of course, the feet as well, which will also be IK. And of course, just in case you guys switch to solid mode or wireframe mode and can't seem to get your textures back, just know that because this is in cycles, the way you get your textures to show up is actually in material node. So that will give you all the textures you need there for this rig. So that's it for the body controls. Let's go ahead and take a look at the face controls now. And it looks like we have some basic eye controls here, which allow you to sort of move the shape of the slant of the eye, which is nice. If you want to be angry, you can do that and stuff like that. And we also have, of course, the eye controller here. And then we have the blink controls here, of course, and the mouth open controller, and then the mouth move controller. And then you have the smile or sad, as well as the teeth on and off controller. As you can see, the teeth are actually something like that. So the teeth will open up with the mouth and then close with the mouth as it needs to, but you can also adjust it within that parameter. We have the eyebrow controls here, which allow it to do the worm whenever you need to. And then you have the thickness as well, and of course we have the overall shape of the head here. You can change the shape of the face. Sorry, you can change where the eyes are positioned, which is very interesting. And then of course we have the top of this head bone here, which I consider a face control, but it basically just does the squash stretch for you. Let me go ahead and make his eyes normal again real quick. That's a little bit alien for me. But as you can see here, you can change the shape of the head based on squash and stretch, which is a really nice deform for emotion, for cartoony styles of animation. Works really, really well with just one bone. It's very nice. And then of course we have over here, we'll just zero all that out, we have some extra controls as well. This is the advanced controls option. If you scroll this up or move this up, it will turn on, as you can see here, bones over here, which will allow you to sort of fine-tune the mouth a little bit. These controls are not going to be as useful since they're much more niche and much more specific with, you know, different emotions and stuff like that. Most of the time you can get away with just using the default controllers, but that is an option if you want to be more advanced in your animation. So there's that, and there's also smooth mouth, which I believe smooths the outside of the mouth, which you can't really see right now. I think it's a shading thing. So as you can see here, you can kind of tell the outside of the mouth is slightly less smooth, which is you know, that's an option if you want it. And then over here we have the Alex arms, which is a very simple control to change the arms to become smaller, which, as you guys know, Minecraft now has Steve and Alex as their avatar, so you can have a female version of the character essentially have smaller arms there. And then of course you have 3D layers, which is actually turning on and off the layers that usually skins have to layer on top of the base mesh in Minecraft. So most skins have that option. You can actually turn that off on this thing, on this rig. It provides that option usually, but you can turn it off and get rid of it if you want to, in case you want to get rid of a mask very quickly, for example, that comes with the skin. That is a controllable feature on the rig as well. And then we have the finger switch controls, which means you can turn on and off fingers. As you can see here, without fingers it's all flat, square shaped, but with fingers it is, well, there's fingers. So we're gonna have these fingers move just by dragging this one bone right here, which is pretty awesome. It's an awesome rig. As you can see here, when you move it to the right, it will bend the fingers in. When you move it to the left, it bends the fingers out. When you move it up and down, it opens the fingers. And you can kind of combine that with a bunch of different things here and get certain shapes that you want. Now, of course, how do you move each individual finger? You can actually just go ahead and turn it and rotate it, and suddenly you can move these fingers in a way that feels a lot more natural. So you can just sort of have them open up their fingers like this, you know, grab something, and then close it like this. There we go. Stuff like that. So it's a very versatile rig, very, very powerful, very convenient, and smooth for the animator as well. And then of course we have, you can turn that off real quick, a restrict select, which I believe will allow you to select things now. So you can actually go here and when you bring this over to the default pose, which is here, you can't select the mesh, but if you ever want to select the mesh, you can actually just drag this down, and then now you can actually select the meshes if you ever need to. Now, ideally you don't have to because of what's over here, this little face, this face mesh, this mini face over here, which we'll go over in a second. That's a very useful feature that allows you to not have to turn this on. Of course, with any rig, you also have the IK, FK switches for the arms. This will allow you to, of course, just use FK for the arms instead of using the IK. I actually really like the IK on this rig. It's very, very intuitive because you can actually move it with the parent itself with no problem. So it's kind of like an IK, FK hybrid, which I really like. So most of the time you may not need the FK, but it's still an option if you need it. So that's a very nice feature to have as well. And then, of course, we have this, which turns off the face. So if you ever want to have no face and you just want to use the face from the skin, that is an option as well. So I'll show you that in a second, because every time you add a skin and you create a skin to add to this character, if you want to animate the face as, you know, an actual animated face, you will have to paint out the face on the original skin, because the skin, if it has a face, if it's overlaid underneath the real face, it doesn't work out. So you have to sort of paint that out and into a generic sort of skin color before you can actually use it. But I want to go ahead and zero all this out now, and it's time for us to add a skin for this character.